All right, let's talk Carry On. This is a film about a TSA agent who gets held captive by a terrorist. So the overall acting between the two main leads, which is Taron Egerton, aka Eggsy from Kingsman, and Jason Bateman. Outside of that, the acting is decent. The story was cool. You know, it was one of those. I like the single setting thriller types. You know, okay, hey, how's the killer gonna get out of this? This movie was similar to Trap. It had the same vibes of Trap, the movie by M. Night Shyamalan. But like most of these new films, these movies are way too long. This movie came in at 2 fucking hours. This movie had no business being 2 hours. It's filled with fluff. And the movie goes grandiose in certain aspects when this story doesn't call for that. So all in all, I give this 2.5 out of 5 stars. It started off good, then it went to Clown World towards the end.
You are now free to move about the country.
So the reason why I went to Clown World, there's a point in the movie in the beginning where once he gets the earbud to talk to Jason Bateman, he's having full-on blown conversations with Jason Bateman. But his partner doesn't hear him talking to himself. And that was just like, what the fuck? There was a whole bunch of what the fuck moments, like characters just making dumbass decisions. And that was probably the biggest one that would have probably stopped the whole thing from going off. Or if at least it could have been addressed like, hey, I hear you talking, and he could have showed his ingenuity with that. But that didn't happen. But towards the end of the film is where we get into the silliness. You have his sniper guy. He's running through the terminal. He shanks this dude in front of everybody. Nobody says nothing. This man gets to chase down Eggsy's girlfriend. And then at one point he's chasing her in the terminal. Then she runs to the parking lot. He runs back to his car, chases her down, knows exactly. I mean, some of the editing was just like, what are we doing here? And then after he chases them down, Eggsy's down there to save her. Somehow he gets there in time and he's about to shoot her. Then the previous guy that died, his husband, comes out of the fucking back of the van and shoots him with his own sniper rifle. Like, hold the fuck up. There's no way. Like a regular gun, I can see, but a fucking sniper rifle, you don't even know how to operate that shit. That's just a bit on the hard to believe side. The whole detective underlying story is just unbelievable in itself. Like, they went from a murder scene, they knew everything that happened, and the murder scene was fresh, but they knew everything about everything. And I'm like, that's not how it works in the real world. Okay. But, you know, it kind of give the movie a pass so it can move along. But you can't take me out of the movie too much, because then I'm just like, I'll be overly critical. The police processes in this movie is horrendous. It's like, so you have Eggsy punching the cop. When they meet in the baggage terminal under the airport, the cop doesn't shoot him, doesn't make him lay down, doesn't make him do anything. She walks up on him and tries to handcuff him. Like, that's not how cops operate. They don't just walk up on you and do like that. They make you sit down, lay down, and do all kind of shit. So you can't just run and do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't work that way, at least from what I've seen. So that was another moment. You have another moment where the last act of the film, which is the goofiest part, Eggsy hops on a belt loader. Now, I've driven a belt loader. Them motherfuckers don't go that fast. As fast as he was driving it in that airport, they don't go that damn fast. And then, not only that, this motherfucker's driving on to an active runway. He would have got pulled over by airport police the moment he stepped foot on that airport. You cross the line over there going towards the plane, yeah, your ass is grass. The plane ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. The police gonna be out there within minutes. So that was another thing that took me out. Like, yo, that's not how that shit would really happen. But let's move past that. This man gets on the plane, has a belt loader up there, gets on the plane. They see some shit on the thing saying that the cabin is open, ignore it, and then it takes off. And the belt loader disappears. Tower control doesn't see this. Like, come on now. You just asking me to just suspend disbelief a little too much here. This is a grounded story. Now, if you had some sci-fi elements in here, then I'll be all right. But this was a grounded story. Then you have the final altercation with Eggsy and Jason Bateman, which was dumb because it's like the way he defeats him, he locks him in the freezer with the nerve gas and breaks the nerve gas. How the fuck do you know that that's not, that doesn't even make sense? Why would you set it off not knowing how that nerve gas operates if it can slip through it doesn't have the proper seal to contain that nerve gas. So that was a little like, what the fuck? And then you have the most out of place fight scene in this movie. So let me set the scene. The detective, Elena Cole, is riding with a Homeland Security agent. She's double checking with her IT guys about the status of this person and that person. The names he's running are for people that's about to board a plane. So the Homeland Defense guy that he calls out is the one that's sitting next to her. So she's like, okay, this guy is impersonating this Homeland agent. So once she gets off the phone with her IT guy, then it turns into this wacky ass fight scene. And the CG is just clear as day, but a song turns on to accompany us in this car fight scene. So they're fighting back and forth with the gun. He's dodging. He's swerving in and out of traffic. The camera's doing like the 360 turnaround as they're fighting in the car, and the CG just looks so bad. And did we really need a fight scene in the car? I could see if this was a full-on action thriller. This is not an action thriller. This is a thriller suspense movie. Why do we have a full-on action scene here? So they're fighting. They ended up flipping the car. The guy wakes up while they're upside down and tries to choke the detective. He's choking the detective. She's making these weird ass sounds, and then she ends up shooting him. Like, come on now. It's too many what the fuck moments in here. Okay, and last but not least, Theo Rossi, he plays the Watcher, the sniper in this movie. I am not a fan of his voice, nor am I a fan of him playing any type of villain. The way he plays villains is so cartoonish. It's like the mustache twirling villain. He needs to play Disney villains, and that's where he belongs. Every line that he delivers is Disney's SQ lines. Like, there's no range to him. And that's cool, you know. Not every actor is going to have range, but pick a role that suits you. But these villain roles do not suit you, my guy. They just don't. I'm sorry. Other people might like him, but I, for one, don't like him in those roles. That being said, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.